The introduction of the static inverter has the additional advantage that the fan out of the gate is driven by a static inverter with a low impedance output, which increases the noise immunity. Do you understand what is this meaning of this sentence? Your domino gate, let me go back. See here, this domino gate output, sorry, dynamic gate output. This is dynamic gate now. This dynamic gate output, remains in high impedance state sometimes. Okay, during pre-charge phase it is high VDD. Okay, and during evaluation phase, suppose in equals to 0, then tell me what is the state of this node out1. Do you understand what is high impedance state?
Yes, sir.
What is
There's
that?
neither VDD nor ground are
Neither
connected to
VDD
the.
nor ground. So when primary input in is 0, what is the state?
They're in evaluation phase.
In evaluation phase. In evaluation phase, your in1 may be high or low, right? In1 may be high or low. Suppose it is remaining low for a long time. So during this time, low period of the input, what is the state of the gate out1 output of this first inverter?
High impedance state.
High impedance state. And during high impedance state, there is a possibility of corruption of the stored value. Here, remember that it is VDD is stored here in the output node. Here you have this CL. Okay, this output node, some charge is stored, which is giving the high value. If because of any reason a negative spike is coming here, then the stored amount, say 1 volt, may be reduced. Lower value may be there. Or always there is always leakage currents in the transistors that may be leaking out also. If one alpha particle, say one alpha particle strike here, then the transistors, involved transistors here are in reverse bias condition, then possibilities that once the alpha particle or gamma ray or heavy ions or cosmic ray strike, then it will create a lot of electron hole pair, and that electron and hole will be collected, electron or hole, that depends on the biasing, will be collected, and this voltage value, say 1 to some lower value towards 0 may be there. Means it's initial stored value, which may be 1 in this case, may be reduced or lost to some extent. That depends on how much strike and how much strength of that particle is. Okay, how many electron hole pair have been generated, etc., etc. So it is happening because it is in high impedance state. So during high impedance state, the node is vulnerable to noise, and hence it is better to reduce the impedance. Instead of high impedance, let it be less impedance. How it is done, we are going to discuss possibly in future, but the statement what was there here is the introduction of the static inverter has the additional advantage that the fan out of the gate is driven by a static inverter with a low impedance output. Do you understand this point? Low impedance, because output of a static inverter is either connected to high voltage, that is VDD, or ground. Output of a static inverter is not at high impedance state, so which increases the noise margin. If a node is in high impedance state, then its noise margin is reduced, or rather you can say it is very much vulnerable to noise that may occur. Is it understood? Now why it is called domino is shown here. If you cascade the domino gates, then how and what is happening, that you can understand. In a cascade structure consists of several such stages, the evaluation of each ripples the next stage evaluation, like a chain of dominoes falling one after the other. The structure is hence called domino CMOS logic. Suppose your input here coming is 1. I am not considering, I am considering just now as only inverter case. Okay. Suppose during precharge, all these nodes are what? VDD, as you can see. Now, if it is an inverter, all are inverter, for example, then if this input is high, this is low, making a transition from high to low, and this is making a transition from low to high. I mean, output of the inverter is making a transition from low to high. Then what will happen to this case, second inverter?
It will go from high to low.
So this way, see that it is rippling to the
Yes, sir.
various gates. Okay, falling, and it is like falling like a domino. That's why it's called domino gate. Now we are going to discuss another possibility of domino logic is footless domino. Footless domino. Just now we discussed that in a domino gate, during precharge phase, all the inputs are low. Okay, all the inputs are low. In this case, we have discussed that all the inputs of a domino gates are low, because during precharge phase, this is high, so it is low. Okay, this is high, so it is low. And there is a only possibility, that is transition is going to be low to high only, not otherwise. If primary input somewhere is making a 0 to 1 transition, then this will fall, this will rise. Okay. Now, once this is the condition, then what is the need of this foot transistor, this evaluation transistor, foot transistor? First of all, why it is given? Why at all it is required or given? This footer is, can it be avoided?
Sir, in pre-charge phase, if the input is high, then it will drive the...
During the pre-charge phase, if input is high, then there is a possibility of direct connection of VDD with the ground. Okay. Yes, you are correct. But if your input itself is low always during pre-charge, then there is, what is the need of this one? Can we avoid it or not? That's my question.
Yes, but in the first one we would still need it, right? Sir, in the first, like the starting of the cascade, we could still need it, right?
That also may be coming from another, because you are going to design a system, and in that system possibly all gates will be realized with the same logic style.
Yes.
Maybe logic style, right? If you assume that way, that it is also coming from another another dynamic gate, then sorry, domino gate, then obviously this is also 0. If that way if you think, then what is the need of this one? There is no need. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So thinking that way, we can think of the footless domino logic. Since the inputs to a domino gate are low during pre-charge, it is tempting to eliminate the evaluation transistor, as this would reduce clock load and increase pull down drive. Tell me, what is this two term you understand? Reduced clock load. What do you mean by clock load?
The number of fan out to the clock.
Yes. Tell somebody more clearly from the circuit point of view.
Sir, the clock has to drive less amount of gates, the clock line.
Yeah. See, in previous circuits, let it be any circuit here. See, here is a clock generator, right? Which is generating the clock, clock generator circuit. It is going to generate clock, which is something like this, right? Okay. And it is connected to two COX is involved here. And if you are able to remove it, then clock load is getting reduced. Is it understood? Every circuit, let it be, say, if you consider this one, clock gen is nothing but an inverter, for example. You have a CL and you know there are at least 3 components are there. Drain division capacitance of these 2 MOSFETs of inverter, line capacitance all the way from here to this point, and you have the COX of the fan out gates. So out of which one COX is getting reduced. If you are reducing or removing the footer or AMI or this transistor, evaluation transistor. Is it understood? Kartik Rai?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Arstipati, are you there? Himanshu Shogra? Prem Prabhat? These 3 students are absent today. Good. So the one term you have understood, that is clock load reduced. What is the next term indicating increased pull down drive? What do you mean by that? See, these lines are written from book only, textbook. Jan M. Rabin. Everybody is reading the book, but you have to understand properly what actually is meaning. It is not possible to explain by the author everything very elaborately. It will be much more thicker book. Tell me, what do you understand by this? Increase pull down drive.
So previously we were going through 2 NMOS to occur a total full pull down. Here we require
very
only
good.
one.
Good, very good. See, in previous case, like this, you have a resistance of this MOSFET, then another MOSFET here. So RC delay will be more in this case. Okay, RC delay, your CL is here. So that can be avoided, or you can say that pull down strength will be higher because you have reduced one resistance or one transistor. So this is the next line is telling, however, eliminating the evaluation device extends the pre-charge cycle. The pre-charge now has to ripple through the logic network as well. That is another issue. Pre-charge time required will be more. It will be rippling through stage to stage. Okay. Consider the logic network shown here where the evaluation devices have been eliminated. Now it is putless. If the primary input in one, this one is making a transition, I mean this high, it is high during evaluation, the output of each dynamic gate is 0. This is 0. And the output of each static inverter is 1. Okay, there is no doubt in this? Yes or no?
Yes, sir, no doubt.
On the falling edge of the clock, falling edge means clock is making a transition from high to low. Okay, high to low. The precharge operation started. Assume further that in one, this one, making a 1 to 0 transition or high to low transition. The input to the second gate, this gate, is initially high. That is obvious. Initially high.
Yes, sir.
And it takes 2 gate delays before in2 is driven low. In2 is driven low. It is requiring 2 gates delay. One is this one, this gate. Another one is this gate.
Yes, sir.
Could you understand?
Yes, sir.
During that time, the second gate cannot precharge its output as the pull-down network is fighting the precharge. This pull-down network is fighting the precharge. It is trying to charge, but it is trying to pull it down. Okay. So pull-down transistor is fighting the precharge transistor. Okay. Similarly, this third gate has to wait till this second gate precharges before it can start precharging. It is an issue with a putless dominant logic. Okay. So you are supposed to use the foot. Therefore, the time taken to precharge the logic circuit is equal to its critical path. What do you understand by critical path? Say 2 paths. Here, AND gate followed by 2, 3 inverters. Other signal is going directly from this gate to gate. So where the delay will be more? To reach the signal up to this point. Obviously the top one, right? So that one is critical path. This is critical path. Critical path, right? So therefore, the time taken to precharge the logic circuit is critical, equal to its critical path. Time taken will be the longest path. That much. The another important negative is the extra power dissipation when both pull-up and pull-down devices are on. Okay. Both pull-up and pull-down path are on. It is also an issue in a putless. It is therefore a good practice to always use a evaluation transistor or putter here. Now some properties of domino logic summarized here. Only non-inverting logic like AND gate, OR gate, XOR gate, or exclusive OR gate, etc. can be implemented. Although there are ways to deal with this, but always not possible. This is a major limiting factor and pure domino design has become rare. It is an issue of this logic family. Very high speed can be achieved. That is a good thing. Because clock load or say one. Why this is happening? Can you tell me? Very high. Only a rising edge delay exists in this. Rising edge delay exists while TPHL equals 0. Minimum sized inverter can be used as compared to the static CMOS case, as only a single gate capacitance has to be accounted for fan out gate. Are you understanding this thing? What the last bullet is telling? The static CMOS case, compared to the static CMOS case, as only a single gate capacitance has to be accounted. Means, see, this is driving only single COX. In CMOS case,
Yes,
there'll
sir.
be two. There'll be two. So it may be faster. Let us go ahead and go a little faster to cover certain more things. Dealing with non-inverting property. As in this case, we have said that non-inverting logic, are realized. This you understand? Non-inverting. Once you are trying for NAND gate, say this is what? Suppose excluding this thing is what? Sorry, this thing. Let me clear it up. What is this gate? If I consider only this much, tell. Think nothing is there outside this encircled portion. You don't have anything. What is this gate? Tell me. What happened to you all? Arch Tripathi, are you there? Himanshu Shogra, Prem Prabhat Pramanik, they are absent. Okay, Kartik Rai.
Sir, is it NAND?
It is NAND gate, obviously. Both high, so output is low. During precharge phase, this has been high, made high, precharge to VDD. But once during the evaluation phase, both the inputs are high, so it is low. So it is a NAND 2 input NAND gate. Two input NAND gate. Now, this was dynamic, right? If you connect this inverter, suppose it is included, then what? It is two input AND gate or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Input AND gate. So domino realizes gates like AND or exclusive or etc. Non-inverting, not inverting type. So how to deal with that? Here is the case of dual rail domino. This is example of dual rail domino to sort out this problem. Or you can say. Now before that, let me ask, if you consider this one only, let me redraw it, clear it. What is this gate? Tell.
Sir, NOR gate.
If I say this is F, it is F equals to this thing gives what?
If either A or B are conducting, then it becomes 0.
See, this parallel combination gives what kind of function? Now think of basic thing.
Sir,
Or-
NOT gate.
Or
NOT
kind
gate.
of function, right? Or kind of function.
Yes.
Okay. So is it not NOR gate? I mean, if I consider this, is it not NOR gate here?
Yes, sir.
Bar will be there. If I think it is confusing
Yes.
you, consider it is A and B. Then F equals to what?
A NOR B.
A, B, A or this is the function. Okay. This is the function. Yes or no? This is
Yes,
not.
sir. Yes, sir.
Left side was NAND without this inverter, and without this inverter, this side is NOR. Okay. Now, if you consider the bubble case only, so there is no confusion in this up to this point. Isn't it? Is there
No.
any doubt? No, no doubt.
No doubt.
Now, if you put inverter, then what? Or even NOR gate is what? Bubble AND, isn't it? NOR gate, if I consider this thing only, NOR gate is bubble AND. Okay, this portion is this, that is A, B, and if you put this, consider this bar, then it is and what? Is it this
9.
or? So in this way, you can realize with a double or dual rail domino as similar to DCBSL structure. It is there in the video, lecture videos. Check up. This is very easily understandable case. Okay, DCBSL.
When we do bubbled ORing to get NAND and bubbled ANDing to get NOR.
This circuits is understood. What is going to give ultimately? Complement of things, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
If you start with A and B, it is going to give A or B, then bar. Okay, if I, of course, it is assumed here that A bar, B bar signals are also available. Complement of the signals are also available. That's why it is given A bar, B bar. If you don't consider that, that is simply this thing, F equals to this, isn't it? Up to this point. After that, if you consider this also, then here O equals to this over bar. That is A or B, isn't it? But if you consider this bubble, then things will be different. Yes or no?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Consider it will be depending on whether the input, whatever you are connecting, is available in the complemented form or not. Based on that, your function realized is differing. That is simple to say. Anyway, so this way, this in the DCBSL style, you can use it. Here you have two transistors, like a bleeder. Why bleeder is used? You know, bleeder during the state when this is 0, says this is 0. This node is in high impedance state. They'll be leaking. This MOSFETs will be leaking. All these small or short channel MOSFETs have a lot of leakage currents. We have discussed sometimes earlier. So because of that, this point will be leaking and charge will be lost. Voltage value will be dropped. To prevent that, very small transistor, PMOS transistors can be connected, which will replenish the charge lost. Okay. Suppose if this is 0, this is going to be on, and small charge will be always coming here to compensate for the leakage. Okay, so that's why this PMOS FETs MF1 and MF2 are connected. If you go through, you will understand. Note that all inputs come from other differential domino gates and are low during pre-charge phase. This point we have already discussed. While making a conditional 0 to 1 transition during evaluation. Using differential domino, it is possible to implement any arbitrary function. As you have seen, if you have this kind of I mean complemented form, then you can have different functions realized. Okay, this way. This comes at the expense of increased power dissipation. Since a transition is guaranteed every single clock cycle, regardless of the input values, either O or O bar. Here it is O, here it is O bar. Okay. Either O or O bar must make a 0 to 1 transition. Okay. So power dissipation is going to increase. The function of the transistors, this one and this one, is to keep the circuit static when the clock is high. Clocking high means this is off and evaluation transistor is on. So it's to keep the circuit static when the clock is high for extended period of time. So this is going to work like a bleeder. I mean to say, when clock is high, then maybe that what is happening, clock is high and say these inputs are, any one of the inputs are low. So this is at hybrid state. If both are low and both are high, then this will be, of course, grounded. But otherwise, this is 1, this is 0, or vice versa. This node is going to be hybrid state. And during that time, if leakage, obviously leakage are there, this value of this node may be reduced. Level, high level, maybe instead of 1 volt, maybe 0.8 volt, 0.7 volt, depending upon how long that clock is becoming high. Okay, or you can say evaluation phase is extended. Evaluation phase is extended. So this will be, I mean, charging or replacing this leakage charge. Notice that this circuit is not ratioed. Even in the presence of the PMOS pull-up devices, it is not ratioed. We have discussed earlier that what is ratioed logic? What is that ratioed logic? Can you remember? I discussed. There is a
Is it high skewed, low skewed?
Ratioed logic, I said, as a PMOS fit, it is grounded. Okay, pseudo-NMOS logic is a ratioed logic. Okay, in here is out. Okay, out. Say output of this and a BTC of this will be something like this or something like this, depending on the strength of the strength ratio of these two MOSFETs. This is always on. When it is on, this is on and it is going to fight against the pull-up device. Okay, if its strength is good compared to the pull-up device, then you will get better zero. Beta 0 means VOL. Output low voltage will be good if it is stronger. So the VOL depends on the strength ratio. So we call it ratio logic. Anyway, let us, I hope you understood what, because we have already discussed. Notice that this circuit is not ratioed even in the presence of the PMOS pull-up device. Okay, it is not ratioed. Means this characteristic is not being changed by this MOSFET. Due to its high performance, this differential approach is very popular and is used in several commercial microprocessors. So this dual rail or differential domino logic are useful in the processor. Now we'll see further what we can
Sir,
do. Yeah. Time is
sir, we
over.
have another class.
Okay, I have
Yes, sir,
also
it's
another
9
class. So next class will be tomorrow. Next class tomorrow means 5th of 10 here onwards. So all of you, please watch the videos and come up to this point. By tomorrow, you must be able to understand what was discussed earlier videos.